Fabri,
Hello guys.
that's a late night podcast.
Yes,
We need
yes.
to do it because it's a crazy day.
Yes, I'm really buzzing because really tonight was a huge one about Zinedine Zidane, tweeting an important exclusive about Zinedine Zidane, saying that Zinedine Zidane is leaving Real Madrid, so he's 100% confirmed, and in the next hours, both Zinedine Zidane and Real Madrid board will make it official with a statement together, saying like, thank you, obviously, because we're talking about a legend in the club, on the pitch, as a manager, as a man, I would say. So Zidane is leaving Real Madrid. In the night, he called all the players, he called people close to him, like agents, part of the family. So he decided to leave, and he communicated to all people leaving Real Madrid live with him at Valdebebas every day. So that's how he was going to communicate. This is typical Zidane style, you know. So talking with the players, with the staff, with the entorno, as they say in Spain. And so Zidane is out. Zidane decided to leave Real Madrid. He's parting ways with Real Madrid. And now we will see, after it will be official, who will be the new manager of Real Madrid.
Here we go.
The Here We Go podcast is excited to introduce Skrill, our official sponsor and the payments app for money movers and money makers. With the Skrill app, you can pay online, send money, and buy and sell cryptocurrencies all in a few taps. It's quick, easy, and there is no need to rely on your bank. Depending on where you live, you can get a Skrill card too. The card will be delivered straight to your home address and gives you instant access to your balance in stores, online, or as cash at ATMs. Search for Skrill, spelled Skrill, and download the app today.
So that's the biggest question right now we have to, in some ways, talk about, because who will be the next Real Madrid manager? And Massimiliano Allegri is a name that we need to consider.
Yes, let's explicate the situation.
Yes.
First of all, the Real Madrid board are talking with Allegri people, so like intermediary agents involved in this situation since March. So between Allegri and Real Madrid, there are direct contacts, really strong contacts, I would say, because they were planning for the future, talking with Allegri. He's always been in the radar of Florentino Perez. 3 years ago, he was one step away from joining Real Madrid. He said in an interview, and it's 100% true, but he decided to go to Juventus, to stay at Juventus, because he had
promised to Agnelli.
He had a verbal agreement with Agnelli, so he decided to stay. Now he's available on the market. But what's the situation? Allegri has always been the priority of Real Madrid. Florentino Perez has always wanted Allegri as the perfect man if Zidane decided to leave, and now it's 100% confirmed news. So now let's see what happens with Allegri's decision, because his priority has always been Real Madrid. He wants to go to Real Madrid. On Tuesday, his agent was in Madrid to talk with Real, to start official contacts about contract and everything. But the direct contacts are going on since March. What's happening now? That Juventus are considering to sack Andrea Pirlo is a possibility. It's not confirmed yet, but they are considering this possibility.
And today there was another big news that we still didn't talk about.
Yes.
Antonio Conte and Inter Milan parted ways. Antonio Conte is no longer the manager of Inter Milan.
Yes.
So Inter Milan are looking for another manager, and also Massimiliano Allegri is in the list of Inter Milan.
And Allegri was one step away from joining Inter also last summer when Conte was
considering leaving Inter.
And Marotta, who is the CEO of Inter, was at Juventus with Allegri, so they have a strong relationship. So now the situation for Allegri is talking with Real Madrid since March. Agreement almost ready, is not a problem about the contract.
Yes.
But the situation is that he's waiting since weeks and months and everything. But now he has also proposals from Juventus and Inter. So Inter are on Allegri, Juventus are on Allegri if they sack Pirlo, they've not decided yet. And Real Madrid, of course, are interested in Allegri. So if Real Madrid will be fast, the feeling is that Allegri will be the new manager. If Real Madrid will take some time, talk with other managers, let's think about Raúl or maybe Xabi Alonso or maybe other managers. In this case, Allegri
has
will
options.
say, yes, I'm going to Italian clubs. Let's see if Juventus or Inter. So it's an open situation for Allegri, and same for Real Madrid. Time will be key. We said in the episode of the podcast,
we said
and
that.
we can say again, because the situation is really open with Massimiliano Allegri, and also Zinedine Zidane leaving the club is the start of this domino for the big managers.
Yeah, we said this in the episode of today, or yesterday actually, the domino of the managers in Europe, with many managers involved. We just needed the big one really and we had two in one day, because we had Antonio Conte already official. We have Zinedine Zidane. You broke the story. Now everyone is talking about it, but you broke the story.
I want to say thank you to who is mentioning on social media, on papers. Really, thank you from Spain and all over the world, because it was a big one. The feeling in this moment is never easy, because it's also beautiful to talk with our listeners to make them understand how is the feeling. That when you have this kind of news, obviously
it's the first time I'm talking with Fabrizio tonight, because he's always in his word. I understand that, so it's a good opportunity to talk about it.
In these minutes, it's incredible the feeling you have, because obviously you're always thinking, be careful in this kind of situation, but when you are 100% sure, you
also that was we also can talk about how handling this situation, because that's something everyone was expecting Zinedine Zidane to leave at the end.
Yes.
I mean, not everyone, but that was in the radar.
Yes, it was a bit strange that some weeks ago he maybe was on
100%
sure. Yes, 100% sure. But then after he said not decided yet. Yeah. Real Madrid was saying he has not communicated yet. Yeah. So someone in the club was also thinking maybe he's gonna stay. Who knows?
Maybe he's changing ideas, changing his mind. He didn't. So Zinedine Zidane will leave.
Yes, and to complete our talk about managers in this club, for Tottenham still no news. They're talking obviously with managers, but still the big name is not out yet. Let's see what happens with Pochettino again, because in some minutes we will talk with Matteo Moretto, who's working with us. Always we are in the same team, and we will talk about Barcelona situation, but we were talking also with him about Pochettino situation, and keep an eye on what's happening with Pochettino at Paris Saint-Germain, if they will continue together, or let's see what Leonardo and Al-Khelaifi will decide. And also for Inter, Simone Inzaghi was another option for Inter job, but he decided to extend the contract with Lazio. So Inzaghi is not going to Inter. Allegri is one of the options, and let's see if they will try with some other one, if Allegri is going to Real Madrid or to Juventus.
And also, as we said in the last episode, Luciano Spalletti is also close to join Napoli, which is another important team in Italy, so that's another important news of the day.
He's really close. Yes, they were talking with Conceição from Porto, but Conceição decided to maybe stay, and now Spalletti is the front runner 100%.
And to complete the day, also Paolo Maldini announced officially that Gigi Donnarumma won't stay at AC Milan. After this year,
and he will be a big name, I think.
Big name, yes.
Will be a big one, because Donnarumma is an amazing goalkeeper. As we always say in the podcast, that maybe our listeners, if you are in Europe or in other countries and you don't know Donnarumma because he was never playing Champions League, World Cups, Euros, but he's an amazing goalkeeper. Imagine that he was playing as a Milan starter since he was 16, and now he's the goalkeeper of Italian national team. He's fantastic, but he's a free agent now. Mino Raiola is his agent, so not so free. and let's
free
see
in the sense that he doesn't have a club. It's free, that it's cheap.
That's it. But now he's gonna talk with many clubs, and he will decide. The Here We Go podcast is partnered with Skrill to bring you exclusive football content for free. Go to skrill.com/herewego to find football stories I've shared only with Skrill. Don't forget to bookmark the page. I will be sharing lots more in the coming months.
So we're back, and we are here with Matteo Moretto, who is our guy from Spain. He knows everything about Spanish football.
Always working together.
And so you have a lot of updates about Barcelona these days, about Gini Wijnaldum. What's the latest?
Bueno, empezamos con Wijnaldum porque mañana el Barcelona va a cerrar el fichaje de Wijnaldum al 100%.
Tomorrow, 100%, Gini Wijnaldum will join Barcelona, Matteo. And the feeling is that it's 3 years contract?
Wijnaldum firmará por 3 temporadas y se rebaja su sueldo porque quiere fichar por el Barcelona.
So, Wijnaldum has decided to join Barcelona. He's 100% confirmed. He decided also to go with a lower salary. He had an important one at Liverpool.
3 years contract.
Y no es un fichaje que depende de la continuidad de Koeman en el banquillo porque, bueno, de momento sigue el entrenador, pero Wijnaldum será un fichaje que no depende del entrenador, de la continuidad del entrenador.
Yes, what Matteo is saying is that Koeman, let's see what happens with Koeman, but it's not related to Koeman, the move of Gini
Doesn't
Wijnaldum
depend the signing from
to Barcelona. Yes, they
future
want to
Koeman.
sign Depay, and then let's see what happens with Ronald Koeman. And as we said, his agent Rob Jansen is so optimistic about the future of Koeman, but Barcelona board are looking at some other options.
So what about Depay then?
Bueno, las partes están muy cerca, pero no está cerrado nada y siguen hablando. Hay que esperar un poco porque es un tema sobre todo económico.
So yes, it's so clear that they are talking. There are talks between Depay and Barcelona, but they need to talk about the last details. So there is still something to do between Barcelona and Depay to complete the agreement. He's a free agent, let's remember. So after Agüero signed, after Eric Garcia signed, after Gini Wijnaldum signed, they want to focus now on Memphis Depay.
Last thing, Matteo, what about Koeman, the future?
Bueno, de momento sigue y hay optimismo porque en el Barcelona no hay mucho dinero y despedir a Koeman costa demasiado. Yo creo que al final podría seguir de verdad.
Okay, so Koeman is really optimistic about his future at Barcelona. He's open to stay. Let's see what Barcelona at the end of the story will decide. But there are chances for Koeman to stay, and there is a positive feeling, as we say, from his agents, from Masterman Agency that work with him. So let's talk in the next days about this situation, the last updates, what's happening at Real Madrid, at Barcelona,
Yes.
Tottenham, and really keep an eye on Mauricio Pochettino because the situation is still open.
I'm just saying, if all the days are like this one in transfer market, our life expectation will be 35 years old. That's probably true.
yes.
But that's why we love our job. Thank
Here
you
we
so
go,
much,
guys,
Fabri,
and
and see you soon.
Zidane leaves Real Madrid. Here we go.